Margaret, Kennard, and Christina Arnold with us this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning, Mike.
Y'all
Good
ready
morning.
Good morning. Y'all ready for Christmas?
Oh, absolutely.
Days away.
Yeah, days of doing nothing.
Of course,
I'm excited.
Margaret's got to buy more gifts this year.
Well, it's funny. All I've gotten her so far is a book, and I don't think we're going to do anything else.
Well, I mean, because everybody's bought,
Yes.
I mean, it's a newborn baby.
Yes.
And if you're needing anything for that baby at this point, it's because you're still in that part where you're just living off all the stuff people gave
Correct.
you.
Correct.
So you might be good for the baby for
Yep.
Christmas. So next year when they
Yeah, it'll be a little more fun next year.
that the 1 year and
Mm-hmm.
of course there's the thing the kids never at that age remember. It's all for us.
No,
you know?
right. This is true.
It's like their 1 year birthday party. It's like you realize that you're not going to remember one thing from this. It's going to be all us that remember.
Well, and looking at it now, because this is our seventh child, so it's like we're going to do things differently, I think, because.
Well, I think after 7 you get pretty good.
Well, I mean, there's just like you said, 1 year it's for us.
Yeah.
It's a bit. Well, I guess we'll figure it out, but
And
it's not as elaborate. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah, and then you and your husband, because like you said, your experience. It's always like those. Is it like one of the diaper commercials or something? It's like the first kid, and the parents are like hounding over him, and by kid 2, you're just barely like,
Yes.
rub some dirt on it, it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, one thing we didn't do, and I feel bad, but I'm not going to let myself feel guilty about it, is newborn pictures. We didn't do it.
It was the shines off the luster a little bit there. Although I saw plenty.
Yeah, she's going to grow up and say,
pictures
where are my newborn pictures? Didn't get
Well,
them.
they're all over Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, I take them.
That's a
That's
lot
right.
Just not
different.
professional.
You entered the information superhighway age. You're all right there. There's no book nowhere. So,
Yeah.
well, congratulations.
Thank you, Mike.
And enjoy the holiday here. So,
Yes.
are y'all got any plans? Anything exciting for the Christmas holiday?
I have not seen Yellowstone.
The show?
The movie, yes,
Oh
the
my
series.
gosh.
Okay.
I know.
So you're going to catch
you're
up
gonna
on
have-
all that?
you got a lot of binging material.
That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, just basically nothing.
Okay.
But Yellowstone.
It's an excellent show.
Yes.
I just watched the latest episode last night, and 1883 just debuted. So
I did see that as well.
if you get Paramount Plus, I think Paramount's giving you a couple free version episodes, just enough to hook you and then make you buy Paramount Plus.
good idea.
But anyway, so yeah, it's a great series. Not very Christmassy. Just gonna warn you. Not a lot of Christmas sentiment in the Yellowstone series.
My mother and my husband have both actually, been up to date.
Okay.
And so it's hard because they can't talk about it because I haven't
So
seen
you're
it.
gift to the families.
So
I'm going to get caught up. So
I'm
you
going
can
to
speak
watch
freely.
it. Yeah, so we can all.
Very
Yeah,
good.
absolutely.
Very good. Well, I know what's going to happen.
Oh no.
No, I mean, I know the show, but I know what's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah.
You, like every other woman on the planet, is going to fall in love with the ranch hand.
Okay. Okay.
Am I wrong?
He's.
I've heard more people going,
No, I agree with you, but then you realize who he is, and for me, I'm like, oh.
all right, the
You know-
flowers done fell off the bloom.
Yeah,
there.
well, I'm like, oh,
Okay.
it's that guy.
Okay. All I know is
Hauser.
my mother-in-law, I think even my wife, there's several, and everything I see on Facebook, they just, the ladies are loving the ranch hand. Just saying, he's a fetching man, and he's tough.
Does
And
he
I
have an
think
Irish accent?
No, he don't need it.
That's usually what I like.
Oh, he don't. He's got all of that minus the Irish accent.
Okay,
So
okay.
I think that's why women swoon too.
Okay.
I like
he's
the
all man.
character, but when I realized who the actor was, I was like, oh. I don't know why.
That did it. That just kind of
Yeah.
just ruined the fantasy for you.
Well,
Sorry.
I do know who you're talking about. Not that I've seen it, but because I saw Side by Side and
Sure.
Cole
You're a
Hauser.
woman and you
so-
hung out in circles, and I'm sure
well,
they
I saw it in a
You've seen?
magazine, so I kind of get what she's saying. 'Cause Cole Hauser is nothing like.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, it'll be
Hey.
interesting. I'll
But you
keep
know what's
posted.
interesting about him is he's married to a Doublemint twin. Do you remember the Doublemint twins?
Oh,
Yes.
Really?
He's married to one of them. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about them, but one day I looked him up because I was like, who is this guy? And then I
I
realized.
gotta go back and dig up the commercial. Like the left, one on the left or one on the right.
Yeah, and good luck telling them apart. I mean, Yeah.
Well, I didn't learn something new every day here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I probably should talk about what is the matter at
All
hand
right,
here.
let's get to business.
I learned a lot about here. So I guess before we get too deep in anything, kind of just tell everybody what the Chaves County Federated Republican Women, what the organization's about.
So it's considered a club. Is I think it's about 50. I want to say it's about 50 years old here in Chaves County.
Okay.
We'll have to get some more info on that. I remember, like at 45, we did something commemorating the start of it. But I've been involved probably for the last 6 years in different capacities. Mm-hmm. And this year I'm president, and this year Christina is the first vice president.
All right. So trouble's afoot. We got these two in charge. Huh?
Well, we do make waves. You're actually accurate.
It's like, no, you're spot on.
but with the two of us, we're very, very active.
Cool.
Sure. But yes, some waves.
Good deal. But really, I mean, obviously people can figure out, through the title that you guys, work together as a group and here to support and to help raise awareness for the values of the Republican Party here in Chaves County.
Exactly.
That's obviously, goal number one here. But really, it's an organization for women to meet and socialize, obviously, but also get involved and informed on issues impacting Chaves County at our level, but state and federal level too, as well in some aspects.
I think we're one of 16 in New Mexico.
Okay.
Federated Republican groups. I was thinking back over, because this is the end of my first year in my term. And so looking back, we had speakers. We bring speakers into our monthly meetings. So let me go back there. We meet monthly. Anyone can come.
Okay.
But we do have memberships, and we do.
And I'm assuming to be a member, you have to be a registered Republican.
Yes, you do.
And a female.
No. Well, you do need
to be actually in the women.
To be a member,
you can be an associate.
But you can be an associate. We have associate members.
Okay, you can be like on the side club there,
yes.
kind of. But
I mean, we all like
y'all.
Anybody under 18 is considered an associate.
Gotcha.
So a man can be an associate. A girl that's under 18 or under 18 can be an associate.
But I guess the voting members of the organization have to be Republican and have to be female.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Now, I will also say that we are the largest club in the state.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And we've had that title for several years. I think a few years ago we weren't, but and that is all thanks to Joan Bouet.
Absolutely,
she's our membership chair.
She
does a great job.
Get membership and say, "What are you doing? You look like a nice lady. What are you doing?"
Well, what's interesting is we have 17,000 registered Republicans in Chaves County. And so of that, we have 150 this year.
That's 150 regular members,
right?
Okay,
but that's not including the associates.
But a lot room for growth.
For growth.
Always.
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to do. Christina and I are really trying to educate people that we do. The good thing about our meetings is I was looking back, and we had Steve Pierce come in January of this year. I'm already in next year.
After
Yes.
And after the last 2 years, everybody,
COVID.
dates, times have all bled together.
I'm all messed up.
Yeah, you're like, what year was that we did that? Was it that was just 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah.
Right.
But, so we're all in that world. So it's not just you.
So we pull in speakers that will educate us and bring something relevant. We've had our Congresswoman, Yvette Harrell, come and speak.
Susanna Martinez. That was actually a really interesting. I hadn't met her yet.
I have yet to hear someone who's had an opportunity to hear and speak with Governor Martinez that hasn't walked away like, oh my gosh, that woman is so impressive.
Isn't she?
I've heard. I mean, I've only talked to her bits and pieces. I've never really got a chance to talk to her, but to a person, everyone I've talked to, they've said, oh my goodness, she's just a delight to sit down and talk with and just have her impart wisdom on you. She's really good at it.
I got to see her twice this year. So having never seen her speak or meet with her, I have to say a lot of my assumptions were incorrect. And it was really nice to actually have the opportunity to to do that. I think a lot of people make assumptions, and it's better to sit down and have coffee.
Especially when they're people that are on your TV all the time. You
Right,
know what I
yeah,
mean? And it's
absolutely.
easy to make assumption or be skewed
Yeah.
by whatever is out there, and then you get your own chance to
Yeah.
formulate something. You're like, all right, that wasn't quite what I expected, you know. And
I think it's easy to do that, especially with a political figure.
oh, absolutely.
You know, you don't consider them a person
Well,
to an extent.
in that world, you either it's by design they're built up to love you or to despise you. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And so you've got a group actively trying to make you look awful, and another group doing the opposite.
All
there.
right.
So that's going to form polarizing opinions for people about other people till you do your own research.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's really part of what the Federated Republican Women are all about, is giving you that chance to be that resource and say, hey, we're another way to kind of cut through the filters of propaganda and sit down and get the straight skinny on what this person's about, or what this event's about, or what this particular issue's about.
That's also kind of why we started the forums, because we have created the forums so that we could actually bring more issue-based conversation, because our monthly meetings are pretty much with speakers, talking about either what's, happening, what's going on.
Sure.
But we actually wanted to get feedback, have community engagement regarding issues that are happening on our local, state and national levels.
Sure.
And we have some really interesting ones planned for this next year. Very exciting.
Big stuff planned in 2022.
We
Yes.
always try to go big or go home.
Well, that's the point, right?
Yeah, we work at that, yes.
Well, and
We
another
spent enough
thing-
time at home the last 2 years, so just going
Oh my
big.
God. Isn't that the truth?
Right.
Yes.
So another thing that I would just like to highlight, we get, we have candidates, obviously they have to be Republicans, who come, and that gives our members an opportunity to meet them.
Sure.
We welcome anyone that's running to come to our meetings, because
Yeah.
normally we have about 100 to 120 in attendance every month,
Right.
which is a good crowd
Yes.
for somebody that's trying to get their name out there.
Sure.
So
And really, this next 6 months,
There's nothing but candidates.
it's going to be very important as
Yeah.
we get ready for the general election here later in the year. But primaries will be coming up summertime, and so this is your chance. There's a lot of gubernatorial candidates out there. How do you decide which one, other than the fact that they got an R next to their name, is the right one for you? And
Right.
and really, that this next 6 months is going to be, that's where we're at, is deciding which one's the right one to represent the party. And that's why meetings like this, because like you said, I imagine you probably already had some of these candidates come through your meeting doors. They're going to
Yes.
be back, and all of them, I'm guessing, at some point or another, will be making their way into your doors and at your meetings and talking to your constituents and things and doing that. So that's another reason. Get involved here, just so you're making informed decisions at the primary. Even at the March municipal election
Right.
here, I'm sure you guys will be talking a lot about that. I know that's a bit more on the forefront here locally right now, but in the big picture of the Republican Party in the state, 2022 is going to be a very busy year.
Right.
Well, and I do want to point this out. Our bylaws actually, rule that we as a board have to kind of stay out of
Stay
things.
neutral on
Yeah,
these,
so we actually do work really hard to create a fair across the board.
Sure.
We don't pick favorites. Everyone, when we have the events for specific races, everyone is invited. Emails go out to every single. We don't actually try to
Sure.
control who's going to have
You're just there
more
to
exposure.
to be a platform
Correct.
for others to come and
Absolutely.
make their own decisions.
We
make
create
their own-
opportunities for
you know,
them.
Much
Yeah.
like I know both of you involved in Leadership Roswell and the Alumni Association, exact same mantra and mindset there. Which, by the way, put February 1st on your calendars. That's
Yes.
gonna
Yes,
be,
ma'am. It is.
That's the municipal election candidate forum. That's put that. No, it's going to be just, if you remember how well done the others have been over the last several years here. We're going to have more of that here February 1st. Whoever's running for mayor and the 5 city council positions, that'll be open because obviously January, is it 4th, I think? First
Yes.
part, yeah. That's when we'll know for sure who all of our candidates are, and then we'll go from there. But look for that, and I'm sure you guys will be very much involved in having mayoral candidates and stuff all coming to your meetings and talking about that stuff too. So
yes.
But again, get your
Well,
foot in the door now for this
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, really, I think that if you want to learn about, if you're especially if you've lived here and you don't know, we're out there.
Yeah.
If you're new and you want to know what's going on, we really do try to be relevant. We
Sure.
try to make sure we're providing good information and good speakers. And also, it gives you an opportunity to volunteer because, you get
Exactly.
involved and then you can meet these candidates and perhaps help them on their campaign.
Sure. Like if you're saying I want to get involved in the candidacy, but I'm not sure which candidate I need to back right now, well, there's a lot of people in that same boat as you are. Come to these meetings, learn, and then when you've decided, when you heard what you had to hear and talk to and ask the questions you need to ask, then you can make that decision. Now you're hitting the ground running, and you're part of that campaign. If you want to, obviously, it's up to you. But if you're looking to get more involved, this is a great foot in the door or opportunity to first find out where you want to get involved, and then find your level and desire on how much you want to get involved. So
Yeah, and I do want to express, it's not a private club. An invitation is not required.
Gotcha.
Everyone is invited. Everyone is welcome. We definitely want people to know that if we haven't met with you to invite you, we're inviting you now.
Sure.
Please come and spend lunch with us.
when do you guys meet? Give out the pertinent
It is
details.
the third Wednesday of the month
Okay.
at 12 at noon at the
Okay.
convention center, and
right.
there's an option for lunch if you'd like to eat.
Okay.
So
Do they provide food there at the convention center?
they're going to.
I knew they were going to. That's what I
Yeah.
was saying. Could this be a chance
We,
to try the food? Is what I'm
Yes,
saying.
we did actually in
Yeah.
December, and
Taco
we got
bar.
a lot of good feedback.
It was good.
We got a taco bar.
Who gets mad when you say those two words?
I know,
together?
taco bar.
Nobody gets
That's
mad.
kind of like
You
mixer.
shouldn't get mad.
I mean, exactly. You should just lead everything.
Because you can do so much with that.
Chaves County Federated Republican Women Taco Bar, and that's all you got to say.
Yeah.
And we're done conversing.
Right.
Right. Everybody should be happy.
Yeah.
It should be a peaceful experience when you have tacos.
Yeah. Can't fight when you have a
Yeah.
taco in your hand.
Yeah.
Very
But
cool.
we'd been meeting there for the last year. Previously,
Okay.
we had met at the Elks, and so we tried out the new venue there.
Okay.
Our new meeting there.
Sure.
And so, anyway, it's been a good location, centrally located
Absolutely.
for people.
You don't have to give directions. Everyone knows where the convention center is. So
Yeah,
it's a great
so-
great meeting place. Plenty of parking, plenty of room, and plenty. I mean, if we need to spread out or whatever because of
COVID. Yes.
whatever the next layer of COVID will be, Dextron or
Yeah. Dextron.
I don't know, certain Marvel evil
Sounds
people
like a
in there.
Transformer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, Omicron, I'm like, pretty sure he's a Decepticon. Like, he was in the Transformers.
That's hilarious.
And pretty sure that one, So whatever's next, whether it's, I don't know, Thanos. I think it's in the- Thanos level is the next
Right.
one. So,
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
whatever
Right.
it is, plenty of room to spread out.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Good
So-
deal. And of course, if you, like I said, when would be your next? You're probably done for December. Your next meeting will
Yes.
be in January.
It'll
here.
be January, the third
Whatever
Wednesday.
that third Wednesday is there.
I
So.
believe that's the 15th, but I'm not
Yes.
exactly. It's
Okay.
around there. So it's usually always on a 15th,
Very good.
19th, something
and
like
I imagine not only because it'll be the first meeting of 2022, but at that point we'll know the candidates for the municipal election and everything, so people will start percolating and deciding what start going in that direction on where they're going to be leaning on candidates are going to back and things like
that. Well,
that.
we can already
Go ahead.
we can already tell you that January is actually for the mayor's race in Ward 1,
Okay.
and then February is 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay, and as obviously as Margaret can attest to this here, if you live in City of Roswell, if you're part of city limits, you will get to vote for a mayor and a city council member because there's 10 city councilors that serve on the council, but at every election, half of those seats are up for re-election. So 5 will be up for re-election,
Yes.
5 aren't. So does not matter when there's a municipal election, you will have a candidate you get to vote for. Here.
Right.
So
Correct.
pay attention to that and do all that. So, but like you said, so if you're in Ward 1 and mayor, obviously that's all of us. So you definitely might want to say, you know what, I better get me a spot at that meeting on the 15th here and Taco Bar.
I can't can't promise taco parties. I don't even know what we're having. Have we discussed
What's the mayor one? Just blame it on all the mayors. You're like,
Right.
we're going to have tacos, but the mayors didn't want tacos.
Yeah.
And they're used to it. They're lightning rod.
Isn't that the
That's
truth?
the truth. They are.
But very cool. So, and now I guess to sign up and be a part, I guess just come to the meeting. You don't have to. I guess you could. If you want to get online and do some research and things, but just come to that first meeting on January 15th.
Right.
And say, hey, I loved what I heard. I'm going to hang out, and I want to be a member of the Republican Federated.
You can get a
Women.
lot of information also from our Facebook page.
Okay.
So, the Chaves County Federated Republican Women.
Okay.
But, so we actually try to
If you
keep
do the
notices up.
initials, will that work, or do you have to do the Chaves County?
I think you have to look it up.
You
Okay.
have to do the Chaves County.
I think once you get Chaves County FED, it'll probably start dropping
Yeah,
in
it
the
does.
in
Yes.
the box there. And depending how often you look, look for Chaves County things, because if you type Chaves, you might get the government, all the different, the sheriff's department, everything it pops up, and then finally you get to the FED, and it'll pop up the Federated Women. But that way you can like and follow. And fellas, you don't have to be a lady to be a part
Right.
of
No.
there. If you're wanting to come and support and be a part of, kind of like I always think auxiliary when I think of like from my American Legion stuff.
Well,
But
yeah,
not
at a
spouses.
meeting, there's not like you sit at like the associates table. We're all it's
it's integrated.
It's just like everyone just comes and
nobody
sits
realizes really
Yeah.
that
Because I
there's a
imagine
difference.
it's probably a lot of spouses and things. So
we
they wanna
actually
sit
let
together
the
at meetings.
men near us.
Yeah.
So, but
That's a mistake right there. No wonder,
I also want to put it out there that if there's mothers who think they can't come because they have children, we definitely welcome mothers with children.
Okay.
It's our goal to, try to
We'll
create.
find activities and things to keep the
Yeah.
kids occupied
Yes.
while you're at the meeting.
We want them to feel free to come out
Absolutely.
and bring their
Well,
children with them.
And I'm trying to put the bee in the bonnet, but depending on the age of the kids here, that's how you get the kids involved in some of this process. They come to the meetings and you start explaining to them, obviously age appropriate, of course,
Right.
depending on the age of your kids here. But when you're, why are we going to this meeting, Mom?
Yeah.
And all right, well, this is why we're doing it, and why we're talking about it. You plant the seeds for responsibility in our community right then and there.
Well, I find it really interesting because I don't know that this happens as much, but when I was a child, I went everywhere. If my parents had, practice, like,
Might have been out of necessity, because like in my
Right.
incidents, yeah.
But we went everywhere.
Mom's Pinto, yeah.
so, if they had group meetings or anything, we're just sitting on the sidelines coloring, and we
Yeah.
took an activity book or something. You don't see that much anymore. A lot more is catered around what the child is doing versus what the parent is doing.
Yeah.
So, but we definitely want to open the doors for
Sure.
parents to bring their children in and
Absolutely.
have them get engaged.
Make it a family
Yes.
environment, family-friendly environment. That's what it's about there. Obviously, some of the discussions, things might be a little glassy-eyed for kids. That's why we'll have separate things there. But that's what it's pointing out. Why are we going? Why are we doing this? And kind of planting those seeds of talking about that and being socially active and being involved in your community. And I know you guys know this, but if we as people don't actively take a role in making our community better, no one else is going to do it. So we need, that's good to plant those seeds and all that stuff. So yeah, bring the kids, bring them out. And
Absolutely.
when they ask why we're going, you tell them we're going here because we want to learn about the people that are going to be leading our community. We want to make sure we pick the right ones. That's why we're here.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And I feel like in politics, I don't know. I've always kind of drug my kids around to stuff. And,
Well, you're
especially-
actively involved, so you're like, hey, I'm going to teach
I've
the process
actually-
as I do it.
Yeah. My newborn's been to board meetings already and been to our monthly meeting.
Although with
and
7
so-
kids, you're going to need a big voting booth to let all those kids in to vote when you go to vote here. Like,
Yeah.
Can I go in 2 ways? I'm only voting once, I promise, but I got a lot of kids. I want to show them all the voting process.
Yeah. Well, I look at Jason Perry. He has a lot of kids too.
That's right. Yeah,
He
ask
always-
Jason how he does it.
He always has a kid with him anywhere
Yes.
he goes, So, I just, I feel like we want to, I feel like there's a lot of stereotypes around the, Republican Party, Republican women that I think we are actively trying to.
Dispel or
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and then some of them are true and proud of, we talk about, and what I mean by that is the values and things like
Right.
that, the principles that the Republicans represent, those aren't
No, like those aren't things that we waver on.
Yeah.
But there's a perception that you got to be. I mean, do we go there?
I know what you're talking about.
You have to be
like there's a certain.
white. You have to be.
I get what you're saying. A certain
wealthy.
status, like
right.
you had to, like the pinky with the T, and it's hoity-toity, and it's like no, it's very down to earth. It's very come as you are.
Absolutely.
It's very informal as far as the environment, but very important in which the discussions and things. It's like, look, you don't have to come in from a certain status or and maybe that's our. Heritage where, we come from England and of course the aristocratic types are the ones that kind of run the world and, we'll give you common guys a say too. But that's kind of how that's run and we come from that. So there is an automatic, I think, just from our own history of you must be of the elite to be a part of the decision-making process. And that's what you're dispelling is saying, you know what? No. Doesn't matter if you're aristocratic or, where you're coming. You know where I came from? My parents, were farmers or whatever, and we worked sun up to sundown. Come as you are. This is if you live in Chaves County and you want to be active in making our place a better community. That's really the only requirements here. Now, to be a voting member, you also have to be a registered Republican and a woman. But to come to the meetings, to hear what has to be said, to speak your opinion in that meeting, you just got to be breathing and want to be there.
Yeah, and there's actually a great opportunity for people because the meeting starts at noon.
Okay.
But the doors open at 11:30.
Okay.
So you have a good 20 minutes
to network or chit chat and meet people.
To meet people, or
get in on the taco bar.
Right. Well, and it's funny because we're like trying to get people out, but they want to stay and talk, which is fine.
Yeah.
We really like that, but if you come early. And you stay late, you're most likely going to get to talk to one of our one of the community leaders or one of the community speakers from our state or the candidates. There's a good opportunity.
And that's the thing too is getting the candidates here because the candidates though are out promoting themselves and trying to get everyone to vote for them are also learning about what the needs of the community are at the same time. It's a give and take there. So those conversations between we, the public, and the candidate is very important. And not just the formal them up on the podium talking, it's before and after where you're bending in their ear and you get to say things like, a problem in our community is this. Is this something that you can, as mayor or as city councilor or as governor or as representative, you can look at here? And that's your one-on-one time, and that's a unique thing that you don't get in a lot of circles, and that's a perk at being part of the Republican Federation. You've got these candidates literally right in front of you. You get a chance to ask, talk, anything that's your concerns and issues. You don't have to have that filter of a interviewer or a news outlet or someone just relying on it. You're there, the candidate's right there. You get to say, this was what I'm wondering about. What are you thinking about it? And you get to hear the straight scoop without the filter, and then you can make your decision accordingly. But that's another opportunity.
And I mean, I say that, I feel like Chaves County has a real, has a lot of leverage as far as who comes here because this is a stronghold. So many candidates they know that this is important to come to Chaves County and Southeast New Mexico.
It's part of the stops.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why also when people say that your vote doesn't count, I think I just put vote and count together. You can tell it's early.
And a holiday week.
That's true. Okay, so a lot of people are concerned that their vote doesn't count. Yeah. And I think every vote counts because a lot of our politicians look at who turns out and they listen to who turns out. So if you think it doesn't count as far as the election is concerned, they're still numbers matter and they're paying attention to the turnout.
Well, yeah, if they win, but it wasn't the landslide they wanted, they're like, ooh, I need to, because they represent everybody. And so they've got to make sure that,
they're going to focus on your area.
I need to listen to those people that didn't vote for me, but
yes,
I tick off a few of these on my side. They're easily voting for that person the next time. And so they have to listen to those too and pay attention to those. So, but yeah, absolutely. And of course, and you could attest to this, Margaret, when it comes to municipal elections, sometimes those election results are down to 4 or 5 votes. Yes. So when you say your vote counts, doesn't count, absolutely
Christina
it does. Christina's are, yeah, you've run for a race or two as well here, but
50 is,
I've seen those races where it's literally a half dozen votes are the difference between a candidate and
I think
a loss.
Barry Foster has had that happen to him several times, and Dara Dana.
Yeah.
Really like by
Yeah.
the hair of their chinny chin chin type stuff.
Yeah, it's really legit. So please come to the meeting. So next one will be January 15th, 12 noon at the Roswell Convention and Civic Center. It doesn't cost anything. Just come on free. Come get there a little early, like you said. Maybe get there like 11:30. Come and meet some of the folks that be there. Maybe some of the people that'll be speaking and presenting at that occasion on the 15th there. And then of course, if you want to learn more about becoming a member or getting more involved, once you get your foot in the door, the rest is up to you. So.
Well, and they can go to Facebook, and I don't mind if they give me a call. The number's 505-353-6669.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And if you don't remember that, you're driving, whatever, leave a message on the Chaves County Federated Republican Women's Facebook page, and they will get back with you to it. And that's another thing, too. If you don't want to wait till the 15th, I know you got a lot in between now and then on your brains with Christmas and everything.
Right.
Put a bee in the bonnet right now, get that in there, and kind of get in the pipeline. And they'll shoot you information and things or whatever questions you're seeking, and you'll be good and informed for the first meeting here on the 15th, or the first meeting of 2022, I should say, on the 15th here. So good deal. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to get out there or share?
I mean, there's that aspect that we talk about, but there's other things that we do. We do community outreach.
Sure.
We have other responsibilities in order to maintain our. So I know this doesn't mean anything to most people, but we are a diamond level status club, which means we have met all of the requirements nationally to be the highest ranked club.
Gotcha. It's kind of like a credential saying that you're legitimate.
Yeah.
And that you're not, people aren't going to have to worry that the treasurer is going to disappear in the middle of the night with all the money, that kind of, anytime you get into that world.
Well, we know where she is.
But anytime you get in that world, you're always like, all right, is it, but those accreditations basically say there's a foundation of stability.
Right.
This is a well-established organization. If you give it money, if you support it, everything you're giving is going to what it's intended for. That's basically those kind of credentials.
Stuff,
but we don't really just focus on politics. We're actually a group that works diligently to educate, to outreach into the community, to kind of learn a lot about the community and the state. There's so many different levels that, yes, it is about, politics, but it's also about policy. It's about people. It's about connecting. There's so many different levels. So I highly recommend people reach out to us. So, because there's so many different levels.
There's so many ways that someone could serve. We have a literacy committee, and every year we take dictionaries out to the Valley schools and give them to third graders.
Gotcha. So when it's when it's not election years and things like that.
Well, even in election years, we do that.
But your focus is tackling community problems, attacking those things that we in society want to get, and obviously education, literacy. That's and we've had these conversations like the Literacy Council, Roswell Literacy things. We take that for granted, and we all think everybody can read. And to be honest, there is a high percentage that fall in that category of illiterate.
Right.
And they're in your backyard. They're right here. It's astounding, some of the statistics when you hear the numbers.
Yep.
I don't know them off the top of my head exact, but I know ballpark, and it's not pretty. And so yes, we need to actively be taking a role in encouraging adult and child literacy here, and encouraging adults to go back and get more proficient in being literate. It's a big step. It's a big thing, and so yeah. So
and one thing that actually we're doing today, we take every year at Christmas, we take items to the Assurance Home for the Assurance kids there.
Oh, yeah. Another great organization.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. So when you're not out fighting the good fight, you're in there in the trenches trying to better our community in various ways.
We're trying.
Yeah.
We're doing the best we can.
Well, again, it's as I say, if everybody picks a group, gets involved with it, picks that passion, does one thing, we wouldn't have any problems in the community. If everyone just took one, we got 50,000 people. It's just and I'll say half of those are kids and half of them are adults. Well, So if 25,000 people just picked one organization in this community and got involved with, I don't care if it's the Humane Society or the Roswell Refuge or one of our sports teams or the youth leagues, whatever it is, pick that. We wouldn't have volunteer problems. We wouldn't have these problems because we just have great organizations. And so because the manpower would be there, it just all be there. So pick it.
Yeah.
Good
well,
deal.
we thank you for letting us come on.
Absolutely.
I think
Anytime.
we're really trying to tap into that 17,000 out there so that everybody, is as many people as we can get are informed
Absolutely.
and involved and can meet the candidates firsthand. So
Well, we got an important year coming up.
We do.
And we, the public, are going to have to make quite a few important decisions in 2022. Make educated ones. I never tell people, you do what you feels right. But all I ask is you do it informed. Do your research, read, understand. If you vote for somebody in there, I would love you to know. I want a reason why. You know what I mean? I don't want to hear they had a pretty sign. I don't know. I just heard their name a lot. I mean, what is it? Why are you pulling the lever for that person? And if you did your research, I respect that. And
one important example of that is a couple of years ago, we had the Constitution Amendment passed in New Mexico that really impacted people that were arrested, and that people weren't educated about it.
Sure.
And so, I think that's one of the things that we're trying to do is make sure people know.
Hear the whole story.
Right. This is, okay, you have this aspect of it, but there's this other stuff that you won't.
Hear more than the sales pitch
Right.
on why you
Exactly.
should get, let's the devil's in the details. Let's look at the details.
Right.
Well, and that's the kind of information we actually try to send out in our our newsletters and via email is actual breakdowns of, judge retainment, what a ballot looks like, the different things on there, what it can mean, the pros and cons.
Sure.
We really do try to spend some time breaking stuff down for people.
Absolutely. So if you like to love that kind of stuff too, want to get involved, I'm sure they have a place for you there.
Yes,
too.
we want as many people as would like to come and just take part, be educated, and if they'd like to get involved, there's an opportunity for that.
Absolutely. Well, very good. Well, thank you, women, ladies. I say women because I was the federal Republic. I was like, women. That sounded weird. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Yes. Merry Christmas,
to you.
Roswell.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll see you in 2022 here.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.